Hi, and welcome back to Thone's James Nibbles number 23. Loving God Under Trials, Part 2 of 6. 3 Stages of Temptations, an ancient definition. Again, we're studying James chapter 1, verses 12 through 18. And we're going to be talking about step by step. Why is this in the Bible? Understanding the process of falling from God's will. And the communications is recognize the danger of toying with sin. The application to me comes from the ancient commentator Beatty. There are 3 stages in temptation. The first is suggestion, the second is experiment, and the third is consent. If we resist the devil's suggestions, then we have victory over temptation and deserve to inherit the crown of life. But if we let the enemy's suggestions gradually take control of us, then we find that we are taken away from the right path and start to indulge in sin. However, if we go no further than the initial experiments, we may have offended God, but we have not yet fallen into mortal sin. However, if we can continue down the path of depravity and start to embrace evil doing by giving our full consent to it, then we are deserving of death, and the enemy has triumphed over us. It comes from considering the Epistle of St. James. Let me talk about one word which I kind of wince at when I read this. We have fallen into mortal sin. Mortal sin is not a concept that many independent or denominational churches consider to be a valid concept. It is held by, spoken of by Catholic writers and a few others that are closely affiliated with Catholicism, having only recently removed themselves from it. Mortal sin is a concept that there are certain sins that if you die without being forgiven for a mortal sin, then you are going to not go to heaven. Now, we as most Christians believe that once we are saved, and there is no act or group of acts which take us away from that situation. So when I see mortal sin, I just picture in my head that it's something that's serious, and I don't argue with that. But all sin is serious, and therefore we have to be careful about using that term, and that's why I sort of wince when I say that term, even though it's quoted in the middle of an otherwise flawless analysis of temptation. So with that little asterisk besides that word, I continue. God leads us with stay on the right path and do not stray. That, of course, is the answer to a suggestion of sin, an experiment with sin, and then the consent to sin. if we stay on the right path, do not stray, then we reject it at the very suggestion of sin. Others may be a little more daring, and they go into experiment with sin, and that's Satan has half won when that happens. My response: Lord, thank you for your teaching, which shows us the dangers of Satan's path in our lives, and we know it's a bad thing, and it's just worse as you look at it in this fashion. We'll talk to you next time.